What is up, my friends? Welcome back to Bronco Adventures, and today the question is, did Ford fail the Bronco? Did they set it up for failure? Stress on the rear suspension? No bump stops. What? No bump stops? Right now, the Bronco, when it bottoms out, when we're on like sand dunes and stuff, jumping it, which we never do. We just, when it comes down, back to earth, things just hit. Gravity. It works. The fact of the matter is, come over here. Let me show you something. On our Bronco, we do not have a factory installed bump stop. Why? Why, Ford? I'm asking the question, why? Because on the Raptors, they get a bump stop. But what about our Bronco? There should be a bump stop somewhere in here. So that way, when this axle deadheads, where's all that energy going? What's going on? We've got the solution for you today, though. SumoSprings. Let me show you these awesome things. Do you tow with your Bronco? Because if you do, you're going to want a set of these. Are Broncos meant to tow this much weight? Doubtful. Squat game is real.
Can we keep it that way?
No, we want more of this and less of that. We tow with the Bronco, we jump the Bronco, we rock crawl the Bronco, we use the Bronco for everything. The fact of the matter is I bottom out these coilovers more times than I could tell you. And it's because we're loaded. You know, it's full of, you know, all the family and the gear and everything. So realistically, the only bump stop we have right now is the little tiny bump stop that's down in the coilover itself. You probably won't see it, but there's probably like a little inch piece of bump stop down in there. So when these springs compress and slam, that's all that's taking it. So there was a solution. Let me show you. And here it is, the Sumo spring. This thing looks like it's like soft and malleable. It's serious. Like, I can't even squish it. These are designed for all sorts of applications. It's not just Bronco specific. This kit is, but you can put them on Jeeps, Tacomas, you know, camp trailers, whatever you're using to literally absorb impact or help with your ride quality. You can set these at almost a zero tolerance, and when the suspension goes, these just wiggle like they're going out of style. I wanted something to absorb that impact, so I'm not just relying on that little piece in my coilovers to take that hit. The cool part with this kit is it literally bolts on. All there is a bracket. Sits on there, and a U-bolt that's provided just goes right around your axle. It can't be any simpler than that. And then in the case of the Bronco bottoming out, this is going to take over and absorb that to help relieve the stress on everything. Now, I've assembled this one just to show you. They send options of being able to set the height difference on these. Got this little puck that comes with it. These are like 1/2 inch. You get 2 of them per side. So like this one, I've got 1 inch of extra in there to where when the frame comes down, it's going to hit it a little bit quicker and slow everything down. Now, my theory, if we're rock crawling and the rear end comes up and hits these, is that going to limit our travel? I don't know. But I do want these to engage sooner than later. So I think because these do bolt on and off so easily, I think I am going to run the full 1 inch of lift on here just to see what they do. We're going to go jump the Bronco for you. We're going to go through some whoops. We're going to GoPro it, and we're going to show you how these just wiggle around. But these are serious. Like, you got to check these out, and especially if you tow a lot, these are going to come in handy. I wonder if I can squish this in the vise to show you how much it collapses. There it goes. These will go about like 30%, but I mean, that just, there you go. When you have a little bit of preload on there, you can wiggle them pretty good. These are impressive. I mean, this is like a dog toy that would never get destroyed. These things are impressive, and now I've got it dirty. Why did I ruined it. Why are you gonna want a set of these? Well, you can put these in place of an airbag. And there's no kits that I know of to put airbags on your Bronco. But let's say you know, hypothetically here, that you have a rooftop tent that's like 250 extra pounds on the roof of your vehicle. Saying it for a friend. The fact of the matter is that transfer of weight has to go somewhere, and let's let it absorb right on these. Plus, it's such an easy kit to install. You can probably do this within like 20 minutes. The hardest part's just gonna be jacking up the vehicle, taking off your wheel, and then all you gotta do is align the Sumo spring wherever you want it on your pad. It's super simple. Let me show you how to do that. Like I say, I think we're gonna run the extra inch in there to see. I think this is really gonna improve the quality of how the Bronco drives, especially loaded down, going off-road, overlanding, you know. We got shovels on our Bronco, we're overlanders. So let's get this installed, we'll jump to the other side, and then the part that I'm most excited about, we're gonna give you the action, and we're gonna go get rowdy with the Bronco and show you how these take the hit. Come on, I'll show you. So literally it's as simple as coming in here and identifying this little bracket. On the Sumo spring mount, you've just got the 2 holes. You have to make sure that those are facing outboard towards the wheel. Now there was a wire attached here. You could have just moved it out of the way and it would have been okay, but I just took and zip tied it around the brake line. So that way it just kind of holds down and gives the U-bolt a little bit more room when this comes in for clearance. Just like that. Then with the provided hardware, put a washer on it and your nylock. Then all you gotta do, just make sure this is fairly square inside here. And I do have the Sumo spring loose on this bracket, so we can move it back and forth in just a minute. That's literally all it takes to install this. Zip tie your wire out of the way if you want, plug this in, and now you're good. Now, you want to make sure that this is actually going to come in contact with the frame. So, because this is loose on here, we can slide it around in the channel so you can move it inboard or outboard. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a straight edge off of the frame here, drop it down, and make sure that it comes lining up with the top of the spring. And then it's got to be good. Now I'm going to tighten it down. We're going to go to the other side. It's quite literally 1 bolt, 1 U-bolt, 2 nuts, 2 washers, and a sweet Sumo spring. So when assembling this, you've got to identify one of 3 provided bolts. You've got a short one, a medium, and a long one. Well, if you're not going to use the spacers at all, we'll just use your short little bolt. If you're going to use one of the spacers, we'll jump up to the next one. If you're going to use another spacer, both of them, we'll go to the long one. See, it makes sense when you think about it. So we're going to use both spacers, so I'm going to go to the long bolt. Also included is blue Loctite. Make sure to put some Loctite on these things. They're meant to take, you know, the impact, if you will, right? Right, that's what it is. You don't want your stuff coming loose. You don't want to lose these. So, blue Loctite it up. Now that you've got your Loctite on there, put it through your spacers and then right in to your Sumo spring. Tighten it down till it just kind of sort of is snug. You know, that's a little too loose. Something like that. Because now, when you get it in the Bronco, you can move it around. This is awesome. Literally plug and play kit. You can do this in your driveway. You might not even need a buddy, but it's a good excuse to call your buddy over. Come on, buddy. Literally repeat the process on the passenger side. Now, your wiring here kind of droops in front of the rear end. So, I'm just going to let them go up over the top of the mounting bracket. Just like so. And then install your hardware. And just like that, you got another one installed. You're done. Now that we've got our super springs installed, let's go see if we can utilize them. I don't know. Jump it. Whoops. Speed bumps. Mall parking lot. That's right. We came all the way to Sand Hollow to show you how these Sumo springs work. I am 110% impressed.
Yeah.
Every time we were out in the sand, the rear of this Bronco would just bottom out, even with coilovers.
All of it.
You would just feel it, thud, thud, thud. I'm not gonna stop, you know, it's gonna keep thudding and we're gonna have fun. But let's show an instant replay of how the Bronco front suspension unloaded, kind of jumped, you know, hopped.
It's a hop.
It's a hop. If you watch the wheel, it comes all the way up into the wheel well, doesn't touch the fender or the inner lining at all. But now watch the rear. As it's settling down, it never even gets close to coming up like the front wheel does.
And
so
it did. It did before we
oh,
put
it used
these
to.
in.
Yeah,
Like,
you'd get, I mean, there was proof in the liners being rubbed, all sorts of stuff. But with these Sumo springs, you don't get any of that. Plus, you can see how they move when you're off-road, you know, squishing and stuff. It was really cool to watch, but you've got to get this for yourself. I am actually very impressed with this. The only thing that I don't know is, does this limit you when you're rock crawling? I don't know. We've been on plenty of trails doing that, and I don't feel like it does. But where you really see the improvement is out bouncing around. These Broncos like to sack out
in the dunes?
in the dunes.
This is where it's at.
Plus, it's loaded full of your junk while you're out camping or whatever you're doing. And so you've got that extra weight behind it. But check out Sumo Springs. Get off your couch, install them on your Bronco, and we will see you next time.
Thanks for watching.
Raptors.